to another crafty video. Today's one is my magazine freebie video using Simply Cards and Papercraft issue 265. I recently decided to bring back my magazine freebie videos. If you've been around for a long time, you would have known that I used to do magazine freebie videos ages ago, like literally like 8, 9, maybe even 10 years ago, and I do still work with a lot of the magazines actually, and I am in this issue of Simply Cards and Papercraft, so I'll show you my cards in here. I've done a masterclass on using stencils in this issue of the magazine, but this month's or December's months of magazines, because I'm a little bit behind on these, so this one came out in December, the freebie for it was from the wonderful Lisa Horton, and we've got a 5x5 inch 3D embossing folder, which is brilliant. I really like this one. And then you've also got this gorgeous little die set, a mini little die set that has like this hanging terrarium kind of thing with like eucalyptus branch, a fern branch, little hearts, a couple of little stars, and also the sentiment birthday wishes as well, that you can obviously use all of this together to immediately create a card, or you can bring in other sentiments and different things that you have in your stash as well, which is what I have done on my card here. So I embossed my card and then did some ink blending using the Colorology inks from Craft Stash. I used Buttercup yellow in the middle, I did fuchsia pink towards the top, I did emerald green towards the bottom, and then I also did a tiny bit of zesty orange, because when I was when I had finished inking the first sort of ombre of colour, I wanted to deepen the colour that was on the sort of top portions of the design, and where the pink overlapped the yellow, you were kind of getting an orangey colour. So in the centre part of the yellow, I did go over with a little bit of the orange, just to pick out a little bit more of the detail as well. But I always love these four colours together. The first little mini set of distress inks that I ever got were these kind of colours. It was mustard seed, spiced marmalade, picked raspberry and peacock feathers. I always love this like quad of colours. They always look so lovely together. So if you ever want a starting point for a bright card, these four colours, you know, in whatever brand of ink pads that you have, is brilliant for a starting point. But the card that I created was using the gorgeous 3D embossing folder, and it is really 3D, and this is 300 GSM white cardstock that I embossed it with, but it embosses really nicely. If you have the tonic tangerine, the embossing sandwich is the green plate and the pink plate together with this folder, and it works really nicely to get that good emboss on there. And so, as I said, I ink blended an ombre. I think I started with the yellow, went up to the pink and then down to the green, but you'll see that later on in the video. And then I also die cut my eucalyptus leaves and hearts first and then ink blended them. So I decided where I wanted them on the card and then ink blended them afterwards, so that I could colour them with a tone that I wanted. And I also used a mixture of a little bit of the yellow and a little bit of the green colours to kind of get more of a yellowy green kind of colour as well on parts of the foliage too. The sentiment is actually a Lisa Horton one. I thought I would stick with the same brand. This is one of her ticker phrases sentiments in her Just Saying collection. It came out quite a while ago, but it is a popular one, so I think a lot of you probably might have it in your stash if you like Lisa Horton, but it's just a gorgeous one. It kind of reminds me of my Dymo labels, which is why I like it so much. And I did thanks a bunch because I've got a bunch of eucalyptus kind of in the terrarium, and I also found these little tiny flower sequins in my stash. I think Mum had given them to me ages ago, and I thought they'd work really nicely just to add little tiny white flowers onto the eucalyptus. I know eucalyptus doesn't have white flowers, but I thought it looked really nice together, and I suppose they don't have to be eucalyptus leaves either, but I really liked how that turned out. And for the backing of the kind of terrarium piece, I used the vintage white vellum from Tonic because it's nice and thick, so it really mutes out the background nicely. And I also used some of Tonic's black and white baker's twine as well to tie in the black and white of the sentiment. So that is the card that I created, and past me will show you in sped up form exactly how I created it as well, but I thought I would just give you a little flick through the issue of the magazine. So this is issue 265, and you always get lots of gorgeous inspiration of how to use your freebie as well. And this is actually one of the cards from my masterclass that I did in this issue too. So you've got all sorts of inspiration in here, not just with the Magazine Freebie, although there are some fantastic projects on the Magazine Freebie, but you also get all sorts of different features in here showing you new products that are on the market and everything. And the masterclass is usually right in the centre of the magazine. So that's the masterclass that I did for this issue. It was all about using your stencils and doing different kind of techniques and things. And with a masterclass, you always have to show beginner, intermediate, advanced kind of cards. So I don't think I'm ever very good at splitting them up like that, but I tried to kind of show different techniques that you could do. Like here, this is actually texture paste for these central sections, and I sprinkled glitter on, I think. I did this quite a while ago because it takes a while for, you know, the whole process of making the magazine and everything. This one was kind of showing you that spotlight kind of technique where you have your image in exactly the same position, but you have a black and white version underneath and a colour one on top. This one, oh yeah, this is using an embossing folder with your stencils. This is a Creative Expressions one. This one was using a gorgeous layering Sizzix stencil, and I actually did a couple of different layers of embossing on this as well, show you how you can use heat embossing with your layered stencils. And then this one, which was Lee's favourite, she said she can't wait to try my stenciling technique. This was actually using the coordinating stencil that goes with this embossing folder, but without having the embossing folder. I masked off a few areas of it and used the leaf portion and a few of the flower portions to kind of create my own sort of wreath design. And then I used one of the cherry blossoms from this Laurel Beard stencil and used that right in the centre of it. And funnily enough, that's actually really funny that I didn't know what the Magazine Freebie was on this issue. I didn't know it was a Lisa Horton one, but the stamp set that I chose to do all of my sentiments is that Lisa Horton one that I just showed you, which is really funny. Anyway, so that is the masterclass in there. I kind of give you an introduction, and then I show you step by step the kind of like simple cards moving up to more advanced kind of techniques as well. This was supposed to be the most advanced one, where you dry embossed one of the stencil layers and then used a polish to pick out the detail. I'm not sure it's definitely like the most advanced one, but that's what I ended up showing as the most advanced technique in there as well. And you've even got a lovely feature from Lisa herself as well, so that's really lovely too. And she's done some of the Magazine Freebie projects as well. So there's so much in all of these magazines, but I just thought whenever there's one that I've got one of my magazine features in, I'll show it to you so that you can kind of see what's sort of in these kind of magazines as well. So I hope you enjoy the rest of the video. Hope you're excited that my Magazine Freebie videos are back, and thank you so much for watching. Bye!